The fish are about to be hooked. Two men are still sleeping. Underwater is $1 million bluefin tuna. If you catch one, you can buy a house. You'll never have to worry about money again. Soon the spool starts to spin. The man woke up from his sleep. The captain, Jack, saw the fish and ran over to him. He was the first to pull the rod at the critical moment. There's a big fish on the hook. Everyone was overjoyed. In this case, Jack immediately ordered his assistant to bring his special equipment, but he seems to have forgotten that the rod belongs to a customer. No matter how much the assistant tried to persuade him, it didn't work. It's like Jack is obsessed with the rod and won't let it go. Jack couldn't listen to anything else. Jack is sure that the fish underwater is the one he lost last time. This time he had to catch it. At this point, the man on the other side of the table also realized he was the owner of the rod. He had paid $700 for it. Now he's just a spectator. Despite everyone's attempts to persuade Jack, he was still staring at the rod, and the tuna underwater was pulling the line fast. The man's cousin couldn't help himself. He warned Jack to give the rod back to his cousin, but Jack put the rod down and pulled out a knife and threatened them. Don't disturb my fishing, and told them to stay where they were. If they didn't, they would eat the knife. When they saw how crazy Jack was, there was nothing the two brothers could do. They had to go back to the cabin and drink beer. No one was bothering Jack now. Jack could now fish for the big one. He tells his assistant to hold on to the wheel, and he gets everything ready. He's going to fight this tuna to the death. Jack reels in his line with great skill. The tuna struggles in the water. Jack tries to use up the tuna's strength. Soon a few hours have passed. By now Jack is exhausted, but he doesn't let his guard down. He's still using what strength he has left to compete with the tuna for endurance. Even though Jack is soaked to the skin, he's still trying to beat this tuna on his own. It's almost time for the reel. It's almost time to win. By now the tuna is lying still on the surface. Jack believes it has no more strength left, but Jack has also exhausted all his strength through his tireless efforts. The $1 million bluefin tuna. He has pulled it to the side of the boat. Jack is convinced that he has beaten the fish. He calls out to his assistant to come out and hold the line. He then gets himself a big hook. He's about to hook the big fish and haul it aboard. At this point Paul suggests loosening the line a little, but Jack thinks the tuna is running out of steam. Now was the perfect time to pull it out of the water. With everything in place, Jack is about to drop the hook, but at the critical moment, the line suddenly snaps. It's a shame. $1 million house is gone. Jack in the boat is not yet able to accept this fact, but he had to face the consequences of the failed challenge, because you only get one chance. It's going to be hard to come across this tuna again. This story teaches us a lesson. It doesn't matter if you catch a fish or not. What matters is to feel the whole process of fishing.